Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the world of poetry. Our journey has come to an end. So sad to tell you this. By the way, this last episode is going to be Q&A from each episode. So the first one is from episode one, from biography of Emily. So the question is, describe some of the reasons that Dickinson did not gain fame as a poet during her lifetime.
Okay, Emily Dickinson faced many obstacles, both in her family and in the world at large, that prevent her from gaining fame during her lifetime. Her father, while he believed in the necessity of a good education for every girl, thought poetry frivolous and unimportant.
I probably say that Dickinson's was likely cognizant of the fact that her innovative poetry would be baffle most editor and publisher.
Yeah, and I think that the poet of her followed a series of strict conventions, all of which her own poetry floated.
For a time, Dickinson, whom Dickinson admired, actively discouraged Dickinson from seeking publication. Dickinson had no obvious outlet for her work. Only 7 of her poems were printed during her lifetime, most in the local newspaper. 7 was a minuscule percentage. Dickinson produced around 1,800 poems in total.
The fact that Dickinson preserved in the face of such discouragement shows that either proof of love art, a conviction of her own genius and future fame, or a combination of both, spurred her to keep writing.
Okay, so the second question is from second episode. I'm nobody. Who are you? So why did Dickinson choose the bird to represent hope?
In my view, I think it build a person up and give him to will to go on. And the feathers themselves represent hope and life. If the bird had lost its feathers, it is like you or probably has lost the ability to fly.
Yeah, I know, but why don't she use other animals with feathers?
Interesting. Birds can fly freely and represent freedom.
I know that, but in general, all birds symbolize freedom because they have the ability and the freedom of to roam the earth and fly in the skies. So when birds are seen in dreams, they are good omens. Life, it represents rebirth, intelligence, pieces, hope, love, and so much more.
Moreover, several ancient cultures have held these winged creatures to symbolize the human soul and consider their flight to be representative of the soul's journey in pursuit of higher knowledge.
Additionally, the flight of birds makes them powerful metaphors for a range of human emotions and moods.
Wow, awesome. So the third question is from episode 3. Hope is the thing with feathers. How does the speaker use diction and figurative language in I'm nobody, who are you to portray what it's like to be somebody? And how does this impact the meaning of the text?
Oh, well, in the first stanza, the speaker appears quietly delighted to have discovered someone else who is nobody. In the second, she contrasts their joy good fortune with the tedium of being a brash, vulgar somebody.
Let me add on. And in the first adjective, they, she used is daily, suggesting a combination of boredom, unhappiness, and insolent ugliness. And the pronunciation and the positions of the word at the end of the line combine to stress somebody, as though the speaker is spitting it out with a mixture of pity and contempt.
The adjective public might, in certain contexts, be the term of approbation, but the following simile shows that it is intended to convey a boastful vulgarity. Frogs are small creatures which may make a great deal of noises.
It is very common on an evening in the middle of summer to hear bellowing sound from some small pond. and conclude that an animal at least the size of an ox must be stuck in it, only to reach the water's edge and be quite mystified as to where all the noise is coming from.
Uh-huh. So fourth question is from episode 4, Why Nights? Why Nights? Is the poem about latent sexual yearnings or about a spiritual love experience with God in paradise?
I
Wow,
think
interesting
because,
question.
yeah, I think because of the poem's ambiguity and use of metaphor, and the answer to the above questions isn't straightforward. There are strong arguments for and against both propositions.
Yeah, the following analysis will take an in-depth look at each stanza and conclude with a number of possible interpretations.
Or perhaps in the end, it will be up to the reader to decide which interpretation suits them best.
Okay, so the fifth question from episode 5, because I could not stop for that. Reading the title poem, it starts with a conjunction because why is it significant?
I think because it's mostly used to explain an argument, and as a conjunction, something has to happen before this. So the leader wonder why she could not stop for this.
Yeah, the topic in stanza 3 is vastly different from the rest of the poem. What is mentioned in the other stanzas in contrast to stanza 3?
Throughout the whole poem, the poet described different activity of death on that journey. But in the third stanza, she has a flashback to reminisce about her childhood and clearly calls up the memory she has.
Oh, okay, so the last question from episode 6, My Life Has Stood a Loaded Gun. What are some binary opposition in Dickinson poem, My Life Has Stood a Loaded Gun?
I'd probably say Emily Dickinson's intense and powerful poem is an abstruse one that defies exact interpretations. However, the use of binary oppositions, complementary opposition that defy each other, do contribute and reinforce certain meanings.
Let me give you an example. The juxtapositions of destructive power with pleasure. And I do smile such cordial light upon the valley glow it is as a Vesuvian face had let its pressure through.
Or emphasize the anger that the speaker feels with her repression. Further, the speaker wrestles to realign language in her effort to maintain her determination to express herself and exert power.
As you say, I think the last stanza presenting binary opposition. So let me read that part. Thou I then he may longer live, he longer must than I.
Yeah, the speaker insists that her poetry and expression that is masculine because it exerts an independence and force must outlive her so that she will have had power. Thus, the destructive power, the loaded gun of her anger and expression can then bring her joy. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching and being through our journey with us. I hope you guys enjoy and have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
See
Bye.
you
Bye bye
soon.
bye.